Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by Mr. Josh Crash Davis, and we are here to go over this fantastic Friday night MLB main slate, and it looks like a really good one with really good weather. So are you ready to get after this, Crash?
Yeah, I am ready to get after it, and it's a little bit different because we actually have a couple early games for a Friday. That's unusual. Usually they're all at the same time, so it's a little bit different with the slate.
It definitely is a little different, but we have a good, strong main slate for all three sites. So at least it's not like some of those crazy ones we get on Wednesdays, or sometimes on the weekend where there's 4 slates.
So exactly.
That's a decent thing. And then the fact that the weather's good, that helps.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we have champions, Golden State Warriors again. That was a lot of fun. Quite a series, and we really finished out strong. We won on, real happy to say we won on Draftkings Fanduel, Yahoo, Prizepicks, and we basically knocked the score and game out. I had Golden State double digits, so that wasn't a very popular pick, but it worked out great. So great way to finish.
Yep. Yeah, you weren't too far from your original prediction. I know you had Golden State in 5, but it wasn't too far from that. So
not too shabby, and really enjoyed doing those pods with you and Deb. So
yeah, that's great.
Deb's wanting to jump on a few of these baseball ones with us. So
yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, stay tuned for that for sure. She'll give us the West Coast view of some of these games. So great stuff. All right, well, we're going to dive in and go over our regular stuff that we do. For those that are new to the channel, maybe we're going to hit on our pay-ups and value pitchers, some fade pitchers, little BVP HR call for the day. Certainly look at some stacks, which are super important. Throw some prize picks plays up there for you. And also today, we're going to do a 2 brains are better than 1 Fanduel GPP. So a lot to cover today. Great slate to do it on. So enjoy, and let's dive right in. First of all, too, if you're watching right now on YouTube, let's just get it out of the way before you have to skip around it all. Quick thumbs up. That's really appreciated. Hit the subscribe button and hit the little alert in the upper corner so you know when any of our podcasts post. And then just come and join us. That's the best, easiest way to do it. dfscoachtalk.com. We have some fantastic deals on there. If you want to be with us for the whole weekend, do the 3-day $10 pass Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You get all our NASCAR, MMA. You also get our PGA US Open weekend picks tonight. And then, of course, baseball all throughout the weekend. So dfscoachtalk.com. All right, Crash, who is your pay-up pitcher for this wonderful Friday, June the 17th?
Yeah, my pay-up pitcher is going to be Carlos Rodon. He's 10-7 on FanDuel, 9,900 on DraftKings. He had struggled there for a while in some of his starts from about the middle of May till his last start up against the Dodgers. But in that start, he got back on track with how, he had been pitching, closer to what he had been pitching earlier in the year. He pitched 6 shutout innings. He struck out 8 for 52 fantasy points. And he's going up against Pittsburgh tonight. They have the 2nd highest strikeout rate, and they score the 3rd lowest runs per game. And it's in Pittsburgh, so it's a pitcher-friendly ballpark. And he's going to be my top option.
Well, and again, we don't go over these beforehand because we want them organic, and we want to feed off of each other and just not flip to another guy just because the other guy likes him or dislikes him. I like Carlos Rodon for all the reasons that you said. He is my pay-up pitcher, and he's like an absolute lock washer on DraftKings. I mean, 99 is a terrific price for him there. So I think he'll be chalky, but for all the reasons you said, Pittsburgh, a little cooler tonight, pitcher's ballpark. I just think that, if he can come out and pitch anywhere close to the way he did against the Dodgers, there are a lot of outs in that Pittsburgh lineup and a lot of strikeouts. So very excited for him. Now, he'll be a little bit less owned on FanDuel and Yahoo like you said, at 10-7, that's a bit pricey.
Yeah.
And he is 51, which is the highest on Yahoo as well. But I'm willing to absorb some of that in order to get that ownership down. So I think Rodon is in a great spot tonight. He is also my pay up pitcher. So same. So it'd be funny if we matched on all these, but it's going to happen one of these days, I guess. So what do you have for value, sir?
My value pitcher is going to be John Gray. He's 8,600 on Fanduel, 6,900 on Draftkings, going up against Detroit. They scored the fewest runs per game at only 2.68. And in their last 3 games, they've scored 0.67 runs per game. So their offense is really struggling. They also have the 5th highest strikeout rate at 24.2%. And in his last start, he pitched against the White Sox. He only allowed 1 run in 6 innings, and he had 10 strikeouts against the White Sox, who have the 6th lowest strikeout rate. So at DraftKings, he's ridiculously cheap at 6,900. Still in play for me on FanDuel because of the matchups. So John Gray is my favorite value option.
Makes a lot of sense. My value play is a guy I know you don't like, so I doubt you'll like him here. Yeah, I like Frankie Montas here.
Okay.
I mean, I think his price is right. He's only 8,300 on DraftKings, which is really dirt cheap for the quality of pitcher that he is.
Yeah.
And he's 10-2, so it's not a value play really on FanDuel, and 47 on Yahoo. So really it counts as a real nice value on DraftKings and what I think is a decent play on the other two. But Montas has been good, man. He's been mentioned in a lot of trade talks too. And so, he's wanting to pump up his value to get to a good competitive team that they'd move him to. I'll give him a pass on that last game. He only got 15 fantasy points, but, got knocked around a little bit by Cleveland, but it was at Cleveland. And when Cleveland's hitting with Ramirez and company, they're a monster. But if you look at all his, several outings before that, 40 against Boston, tough matchup, 34 against Houston, 55 against Texas. He had 52 against the Angels. He had a 43 against Tampa. So, I mean, those aren't the Oaklands and Kansas Cities and, Colorados when they're not in cores. Those are good teams. So he's also thrown an 11 and a 12 strikeout game on the board in the last 6 weeks. So, I really like him in this matchup against a very weak team in Kansas City. And I think it sits well for him because even though he's 3-6, Oakland stinks. His whip is still right around 1, and he's got 80 Ks. Crash. Those are good numbers.
Yeah, it is good. Those are really good numbers. And like you said, he was going up against Cleveland, and they have the lowest strikeout rate in baseball. So it was a tough matchup for sure.
It was. So I see bounce back for Mr. Montas today.
Yep.
That fade pitcher there, we seem to have been the hottest on our fade. So let's see if we can hit another one.
The last time I faded this pitcher, he had a career game. So it doesn't happen. It's Clayton Kershaw. He's 10-5 on both sides. He showed some rust in his last start against San Francisco. He pitched 4 innings, allowed 2 runs, struck out 4 for only 18 fantasy points. That was after he had missed a month, and he's facing Cleveland, who we just talked about. They have the lowest strikeout rate. Yep. And I just think that he's nearing the end of his career, like we talked about. I mean, he is. And outside of that start that we, had at Minnesota, for whatever reason, he just went off. But outside of that, he's really struggled to put up any kind of numbers anywhere near deserving of a 10-5 price tag. So,
yeah, I think he's risky. I don't know, like you said, if he's completely stretched out after coming back from that injury either. So, yeah, he's a pretty easy fade for me as well. Although, he can break the slate too. You never know.
Yeah.
My fade is Lucas Giolito. He has not been the same pitcher that he's been in the past. He's been giving up the long ball, and he's expensive still. His last 3 outings, he had some strikeouts, but the bottom line in those games, he lasted 5 innings against Texas, gave up 4 earned, lasted 6 innings, only 2 earned against Tampa, which wasn't bad, but he only struck out 3.
Yeah.
Toronto smashed him around. He went 4 2/3, gave up 6 earned. And in those 3 games, he's given up 5 home runs in his last 3 games. So definitely, the ability to give up the long ball right now, a little scary. His whip is all the way up to like almost 1.5, which you're talking about a guy that had a whip under 1 for a lot of last year. So yeah, just not the same pitcher that I've seen the last couple of years. I think he's regressing back to whatever it was like 4 years ago or something, when he was like the worst pitcher in the majors. So not sure what's going on there, if it's a health thing or what, but he still grabs a lot of ownership, it seems like, on every slate. So I'm hoping that he just puts in another subpar game here. And I do think the 2 guys we faded, let's face it, Kershaw and Giolito are going to get ownership. So we're not giving you guys easy fade guys like Zach Plesac. We don't want to go
Thompson. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. All right, excellent. Real quickly here before we jump into BVP, if you want to sign up for Prize Picks, jump in right now. Prizepicks.com. Use the promo code CoachTalk, and they will give you 100% match all the way up to $100 on your first deposit. Really been hot in Prize Picks lately too. All right, what's your BVP play of the day? And we're BVPers here. I heard some more squawking about not believing in BVP, but we do. So what do you got?
I've got Ramon Laureano. He's 2,600 on FanDuel. He's 4,500 on DraftKings. So more of a value on FanDuel. But he's 500 against Zach Greinke with 8 hits and 16 at bats, 2 singles, 2 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. So
nice,
strong numbers for Laureano against Greinke. And I'm probably going to try and find a way to put him in my lineups as a one-off. Obviously, I'm probably not going to stack the Oakland team, but I do think he's a one-off, in most of my lineups tonight.
Yep, I like it. I'm going to go Nolan Arenado against Michael Waka Waka. He's batting a cool 462, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. He's walked. OPS of 1654, slugging 1154, OBP 500. And again, small sample size, but Waka is definitely the kind of guy that Arenado just feasts on, and I think he has a heyday today.
Yep.
All right, man. HR?
You stole it from me. He's my HR call. Nolan's my HR call. As you mentioned, he's 462 against Michael Waka, including 3 home runs with his 6 hits. So I definitely like Arenado. He stood out to me as the top home run call option on this slate based on the matchups. So I like Arenado a lot.
I'm with you. I've got a super contrarian HR call today, and I played Rutschman, the young catcher for Baltimore, in all lineups and predicted a home run for him, who had not had a home run in his career.
I know.
And he did hit his first home run the other day. So this is another one of those weird ones, not as, bizarre, but sort of, because I don't think anybody else will use him as their HR call. I'm going to take Elvis Andrus.
Okay.
He's going against Greinke. He's faced him 30 times, so he's seen him a lot, and he's got 11 hits off him, batting a cool 367. Here's the funky part, though. He hasn't hit a homer off him yet, but he's got 3 extra base hits. He's walked against him. So, he sees the ball off him. And watching Elvis quite a bit in Texas for those years, when he's zoned in on a guy and he's seen him enough, and they used to play that Houston versus Texas when it was, Greinke and Andrus at those 2 teams a lot, and he used to square him up quite a bit. So I think he can go deep here, and real long shot play, a cheap guy that you can roster in there. It'll be interesting to see where they have him in the order. They move him all over the place, but he's been a little closer to the top recently. So super contrarian HR call today, Elvis Andrus.
Okay, I like it, Coach. And we've got a little bit of a two-man stack there now with Laureano and Andrews. So
It's funny because you said, "Oh, stack Oakland." Oakland is my GPP sneak stack today.
oh wow,
I
okay.
I have never. I'm not saying by any stretch stack 5 A's or anything like that. I'm talking the
Right.
mid, like 3. If you're doing like a 3-3-2 or 3-3-3 lineup,
Yep.
I do think. I mean, Greinke's just looking like he's leaking oil,
Right.
and Oakland again. Certainly not much confidence in their hitting, but they do have a few guys, like you said, with Laureano and Andrus and Pinder. There's a few guys that hit them.
Yeah.
They're 400 plus against them. So,
Right.
is Pinder even back? I know he was out for a while.
I think he is.
I think so too.
I think he hit the other day. They were facing a lefty. I think it was Daniel Lynch, or I don't remember who they were facing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the plays I was looking at one day this week. So yeah, I think
it'll be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, to start off stacks again, I never thought I'd say these words, especially on a podcast, but a little mini Oakland A's stack for me,
Okay.
like 3 guys max, but I think it can be sneaky and I think it can be successful. So,
yeah, I definitely think so too. Yeah. So for me, obviously for the chalky stacks, you've got the Padres and Coors, and then you have the Yankees against Ross Stripling. I also like the Giants against Zach Thompson with their lefties. They recently got Brandon Belt back, so that gives them another power lefty.
Yeah,
I like the Giants. They're probably my top stack as far as a lower owned stack. So
the Giants.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going with one chalk stack, and it's against. You got to admit in this game when you're wrong or you misstep, or it wasn't what you expected. We both like Zach Plesac as a value guy last time, and I watched every pitch.
Yeah.
And it was not pretty.
Right.
So what does he win for pitching crappy last time? He gets to go to LA and pitch against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So
good luck.
I'm going the LA Dodgers stack city.
Mm-hmm.
And, the big thing for me is, liking Rodon and Montas. DraftKings, you get a nice break there. So you can make a Dodgers stack work, but on Fanduel and Yahoo, you do not. So I'm going to be sifting through all day looking for a cheap SP2 because I want to get some of the meat of this Dodgers lineup in there. I would love to get a Betts Freeman Turner, but that's, $100 million. So even if I had to go, Freeman Turner and then skip down to the other Turner and Bellinger, something like that might work as well. But I'm flirting with how to do that based on salary,
Yeah, I think when you can get the Dodgers at lower ownership, because they will be lower owned than the Padres and Coors and probably the Yankees against Ross Stripling. So I think that's a good move. And probably with the lineup that with the stacks that we're looking at, you can probably put all 3 of those California teams, Oakland, LA, and San Francisco, in a lineup because San Francisco is usually cheaper. And of course, Oakland's really cheap. So,
yeah. And let's face it. I mean, it is what it is, and it's the truth. I mean, not the Sharks don't do it, but the average players, they want to see a number 3 or a number 4 by their guy. When you don't have lineups for those late games and you're not 100% sure who's in and out or where they're batting in the order, people get a little squeamish.
Yeah,
I've noticed that a lot when you see very little coverage of the late games in there by a lot of players. And that's just because, they haven't confirmed the lineup, but that doesn't mean they're not going to be in there in a smash spot. So, especially if you play a little bit less, dollar contests and stuff, that happens a lot. Now, usually the Sharks aren't going to pay any attention to that. They're going to play the best guys and they're going to be available to pivot and have a plan in place. Let's just say something bizarre happened. Like if Freeman's a key guy for me tonight, and he's scratched, then I'll have a backup plan with one of the late games to make that move. So that's really how you do that. But I mean, I like that. Even if it's, 5% less ownership on that team because it's a late game and, they don't see the 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever, in front of their guys. So think it's a good spot. And when sometimes you'll have the opposite when it's not a good card. People just want to stack late and know that they still have a shot. But this is a good card and it's balanced and there's a lot of go-to spots. So
yeah,
maybe getting a little cheap Oakland mini stack is the way for me to get the more expensive Dodgers mini stack.
Yeah,
that's sort of what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that might be the way to go. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, let's dive to prize picks, my friend.
All right.
I'm going to refresh it now. I like to go live to prize picks because they do some switcherooing and adding, and you got to have a fresh slate to look at here. So, again, if you're watching on YouTube, quick thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit the little alert. If you're listening on any of our audio podcast landing spots, whether it be Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever it is, quick little 5-star rating and comment. Our man Colin pulls out randomly somebody from that list that has done those two things at the end of each month, and they win 1 full week of Coach Talk. So you want to dive on that. All right, what do you have for your first prize picks play, Mr. Crash?
I've got our top pitcher. It's going to be Carlos Rodon, over 38.5 fantasy score. Like I said, I think he got some of his confidence back in that last start against the Dodgers, and he had gone over that number in 5 of his first 6 starts. And this is probably the best matchup he's had all year on paper. So I like the over at 38.5 for him.
I like it. I'm going to go on my fade pitcher under Lucas Giolito, 33.5. I do think he'll get 3, 4, or 5 strikeouts. I just don't think he goes deep enough. And Houston, man, is a very tough team. They hit the ball. So I'm going to go under Mr. Giolito.
Yep, I'm sure it's going to be very hot tonight. So they're probably going to, that's going to be a tough place to pitch. I'm going to go with my home run call for my next play, Nolan Arenado, over 8 fantasy score. I like that number. And even if he doesn't get a home run, I think that he can, hit a double and steal a base or I don't know, something. But I think he'll get over that number of 8.
Yeah, he's so scrappy, man. He gets it done.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to see, they moved my guy out of the spot. When they add a few guys and it juggles and then you can't find your guy.
Right.
Let's see here. Here's another guy I like tonight. And I thought this was a stupid number. I'm going to go Bo Bichette over flat 7 hitter fantasy score. I mean, he's got great BVP too, but it's just 7. I expected it to be like 8 or 8.5 for sure. So just based on what I thought was a lower number, I'm going to go Bo Bichette over 7 fantasy points.
Okay. All right.
And do you want to do a third?
Are they facing Jordan Montgomery? Is that right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do a third. I'll take John Gray over 6 strikeouts against Detroit. He's had double-digit strikeouts in 2 of his last 3 starts against the White Sox and the Rays, which aren't the most strikeout-heavy teams. So I think that up against Detroit, he can get a lot of strikeouts. The one start in his last 3 starts that he didn't go over double digits was against Cleveland. So we've been talking about that the whole podcast, that they're the best in strikeouts in the league. So can't blame him for that. So I think he will get over 6 strikeouts and probably push closer to double digits again. So.
Yep, I like that play. I'm going to put an asterisk because I'd like to go over Elvis Andrus, but he's not on there yet.
He's not on there.
Yeah, he might not be on there. So if not, I'll give another pick. But it's Freddie Freeman over 8 fantasy points in that Cleveland matchup against that stud Plesac.
Yeah.
So, he's probably going to fire like a 2-hitter tonight.
Right.
But I'm going Freeman over 8 projected fantasy score with Elvis looming. If Elvis has not left the building and can get in there, we'll take him. But I doubt he's going to show up on the chart today.
Yeah.
All right, Chief, let's fly into our bonus. 2 brains are better than 1. And remember, if you join us at Coach Talk, we're following all the weather in Discord, all the matchups, any lineup changes. We do all the work for you. And then when it comes to 30 minutes before lock, we're giving you full lineups on Yahoo and Fanduel. and you're getting core plays or a clipboard or both on DraftKings. So we're laying it all out there. We're adding our prize picks plays. So great place to be, awesome community. We would love to have you join us at DFS Coach Talk. All right. You can have the first pick if you'd like, sir. You've earned it.
All right. So we're going GPP. I like gray, so I'm going to take gray, and it's going to give us some value too. 86.
Okay. Mr. Gray against Detroit. I can accept that. I'm not diving out of the bleachers and cheering, but I accept the play. And since you're saving us so much money, I'm going to go to what I think is a fairly priced $3,500 Freddie Freeman.
Okay. And I'm going to go over to our utility then.
Yeah.
And take Brandon Belt.
Brandon Belt. Okay. I like it. He can hit, man. If he's back in a groove, he can hit.
Yeah. 3,100. Yeah. And this Zach Thompson guy is not good.
So. No. How about $2,200 Elvis Andrus?
Wow. 22.
So now we got some cash.
Yeah.
I know it's gutsy, but hey, you make a call, you make a call. It's going to open up another superstar player for us.
I mean, we spent, I think, 4,600 or something last Friday, and we got 0 from Ronald Acuna. So
tell me about it.
I'd much rather take a 0.
I hate Acuna's guts.
I'd much rather take a 0 from Elvis Andrus than from Ronald Acuna.
Oh, Elvis will not take a 0. No, he's going yard.
I don't think he will either. I'm just saying that I'd much rather do that when I'm spending.
Andrus is on my dead to me list. Okay, he has made that list. It's not a big list, but he is now on it.
All right, I'm going to take another athletic. Oakland Laureano, 2,600 in the outfield.
Yep. If you want great stacks, you come to DFS Coach Talk. We're giving you the Oakland A's.
Exactly.
Hey, nobody can say that we're chalk players here.
Right.
And when you're building a GPP lineup, who wants to stack it with chalk players,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
Let's see. I am going to go with one of two guys here. Let's see. Since we got some cash to smoke around a little bit, I'm going to go with an underpriced $3,700 Mookie Betts.
Okay.
He was like $5,000 not that long ago.
Yeah, he is underpriced. That's an interesting price.
So we're still at $37.67 a man with 3 guys left. So get out the big sticks. I know who I'm taking next. So can I take him?
Go ahead.
Because I'm like 4 for 4. Yordan Alvarez home run. He's my new Atlanta Braves dude from last year.
Yeah. He's your new Ozuna.
Ozuna, yeah. He's my home run whisperer. So you could take both guys, second and third base. You got 7,100 to use.
Okay. I'll take. Let's see.
We got some sticks.
Yeah, definitely. Espinal's facing a lefty, right? Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
That's correct.
I'm taking him, and I'm taking Arenado, and leaving 800 on the board, which is his GPP. So I don't care.
That's what I was hoping you'd take Arenado. Okay, so you have, and if anything changes during the day and we need to make a change, we can always flip it. So here's what our lineup looks like: John Gray, Freddie Freeman, Santiago Espinal, Nolan Arenado, Elvis Andrus, Ramon Laureano, Mookie Betts, Yordan Alvarez, and Brandon Belt.
Hey, Coach, I'm making one change. I'm going to go to a St. Louis guy. I'm going to go with Nolan Gorman at 3,000 over Espinal.
Okay, I like that play better, so I'm with you. So Espanol, at least 2 homers tonight.
Yeah. So we got 2 Cardinals, 2 Dodgers, 2 Athletics, a Houston, and a San Francisco bat. So
Very nice. I like it.
yeah.
And that will be very unique. There's no question
yeah.
about it. No
Definitely.
doubt. All right, excellent. That is it, my friends. That's the whole deal on Friday. So very exciting. Tomorrow we'll be back for baseball. Tonight, if you're a member and listening, don't forget to check out the weekend only golf. I've been watching hole by hole. We've got some guys playing really well, and we're going to be loading back up. Again, this try to double dip it because that U.S. Open's a blast to watch.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I love that course at Brookline. It is tricky and definitely a fun one. So we got all that going for sure. So come and check us out. Anything else on your side?
No, just want to wish all the fathers a great Father's Day this weekend, and let's crush it. Let's crush this whole weekend.
Yeah, absolutely, no
Baseball
doubt.
and golf.
Yep. All right. Thanks for listening in, everybody. I enjoyed it, and it's going to be a good night of baseball for sure. So check us out again tomorrow, and we'll be back, and we'll be looking to crush it in MLB, DFS, and Prize Picks.